My name is Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
Really nice to meet you.
You too.
I understand you're struggling with a loss. I'm glad you've come in. Tell me what's happening.
Well, so my husband and I moved to Utah about 11 years ago. And we don't have any family nearby, and I have this woman who just, when I first had my first child, she just adopted me as her own. I mean, she just was so, she's so sweet. She was, 88 at the time, I believe. No, sorry, 78 at the time. And she works 2 days a week, or was working 2 days a week back then, and was skiing and golfing, just this amazing, active, wonderful woman. And she goes to my church, and so this new baby, and she was, maybe 4 months old, 5 months old, and she just said, Miriam, you don't have anybody here with you. I want to come and take your baby for an hour a week, and just take her for a walk around the block, and just get her to the house, so you can just do whatever you want to do. And so Naomi would come, and my Olivia, she just would scream and cry most of that whole hour walk. But Naomi would just put her in the stroller, and she would just take her, and she would just walk and not even worry about it. She says, Miriam, this is your hour. You can just have it to do whatever you want. And it was such an incredible blessing. And I knew she was screaming. I could hear her screaming even sometimes walking around the block. Aww. But Naomi just kept pushing and just took that baby so that I could have some time to myself, to have some peace. And she was just such, just an amazing gift to me.
How kind.
And that was the beginning of our relationship, really. And then she would come at least once a week and just play with Olivia. And then we had a second, so Olivia and Nora would both spend time with her. And it was amazing just to watch the gift that she brought to the children and to me. She provided just a grandparent for them that they didn't otherwise have, and she didn't have any young ones around. So it was a great relationship. But she passed away. I think it's been 4 months now. Her husband died about 1.5 years ago. On my daughter's birthday party day. It was the day before my daughter's birthday, but they had a party, and we had plans to go out for dinner the next day, and she called, and Stan was gone out of town, and he had a heart attack, and he died, and I grieved so much when he died. And it sounds kind of selfish, but it wasn't missing him, it was me grieving her, knowing that her death would also come, is what I felt like, because, she's now 84 years old, and not young, and watching her hurt so much through his loss just really made it. And it just reminded me that she's going to die, that I won't have her forever. And it was just so hard to think about that future date. It just broke my heart. And just to see her sad, and my kids, to watch them grieve as well, to miss her. And just the downhill spiral she took between when her husband died and her own death was just so challenging to watch. She was just an active, wonderful woman, even though she was in her 80s. It just seemed so vibrant, and then just to watch her, lose track of the day of the week, and just simple things, We got a card from her from my daughter just a few months ago, and it was signed Nona, which is not a name that we've ever used with her. We've called her Omi or Naomi, but she used Nona, and my kids were so confused. But I think that's the name she used with somebody else, that she actually is a real grandma too, and so I think that was the connection. But
so she really adopted you and your kids and your family, and took you into her heart.
Many times I thought I would love to have her for my mother-in-law versus the real one, because she just connected so well with us. It was just such a nice connection. Yeah, she was amazing.
Kindness of understanding what you needed as a new mother with no family around.
Yeah, nothing.
Just stepped in to fill that role.
And every year we go to Bear Lake, just the girls, my 2 girls and she and I, we go to Bear Lake and just spend a couple days together, because she used to with her family, and so it was a recreation for her. And we, my girls and I loved it. We'd never been there before, and so it was just a nice little getaway every year, and just a special trip for just us girls. And so even when her husband was living, we would leave her husband at home and my husband at home, and just us girls would go. So it was great.
Very special times. Really rich connection. Well, tell me how you found out about her death.
Well, there's a prayer chain at church, and I was worried I would find out that way, which I did not. That was for sure not how I wanted to find out. I was kind of prepping myself for it. So I'd asked the person who sends the emails out if they would call me before sending out the message, just so that they could tell me. So that's that's what happened. A friend from church called and said that she had passed away. She had a stroke, and luckily it took her life. I was happy for that because she would be so miserable to sit around and be debilitated. I mean, for her that would just be awful. So I mean, I was happy that it would happen really quickly. But yes, then I couldn't say goodbye. You know, I feel like I missed out on that piece. That I didn't tell everything I could have told her about.
Yeah.
What she meant to me, and I mean, it's amazing to be given this gift of a person. And even my mom. I mean, my mom wasn't here, and she was like a mom to me. And for me, it was just, she was amazing. I mean, just everything she's brought to our family is incredible. So, and I don't know. I hope that someday I can be what she was for me, and
Really, you really loved her, and she really loved you guys. And it didn't matter that you weren't family. You were family.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, she was definitely family, and I don't know, her personality was just amazing. She was a teacher, and when she got her master's degree back in who knows what year, I mean, years and years ago, and she moved to Utah by herself. She left her husband at home. Her daughter was here, and he wasn't ready to move yet, so she packed up from Chicago and moved out and spent a few years before he came along. And she was a very independent woman. I mean, she taught me that you can do whatever you want to do and be whoever you want to be, and definitely follow your dreams kind of woman. I mean, just really go-getter. So it was cool to have her in my life and my girl's life. And she was an amazing example to me. So.
And that would leave a big hole.
Absolutely. Yeah, even, I mean, in the later years of her life, she'd always, Miriam, what can I do for you? Could I come over this week? And, how can I be helpful? And don't forget I'm here. Just call me if you need, anything. And just amazing. We'd spend holidays together if we had no family in town, or just, whatever a family could do, she sure did for us. So.
Was the church community helpful? Tell me about the funeral. Was it?
It was beautiful. Yeah. It was. Yes, it was. She's been a member of that church for years and years. So yeah, she was definitely very ingrained in the church. So she taught Sunday school for. Who knows? I mean, she was still teaching when she passed away. I mean, she's just her passion is children and being with them. So, and she sang in the choir and read lessons. And, and she was very, very involved. So yeah, it was a wonderful service. I think I cried through the whole entire thing. I'm good at crying, so I did that well. And a lot of family flew in. She had one daughter, and they were here, of course, but then a lot of family from around the country all came in. So it was nice, too, to see them. And I've heard a lot about most of them, so it was nice to really meet them and, see who they are. But